I don't feel super fancy. A couple things that I just want to start with. First is, can I just say how proud and pumped I am that most of you, I think, are in the Project Fearless page. And when Joan, she's like my grandma coach, so she's like your great or great great grandma coach, posts like the recognition boards with people who have been in Success Club and have those. Like the first one she posted this month, I was like, damn, that's like all of our people. I was so pumped. I was like, look at her, look at her, look at her. It was awesome. So tonight, I asked a few of our newer ladies who are crushing it and consistently crushing it. Jackie, Megan, Jess, and Carrie's going to hop on as soon as she gets her kiddos to bed. But I also just wanted, just because it's on my brain and sometimes I just need to say things as to kind of process them. Today we had a nurse that works in our hospital. We learned that she was killed in a car accident on her way home from work. She worked night shift and she was driving home like an hour, it's like an hour north of here. And she was just back from maternity leave and had another baby. And I don't mean to like make this super depressing. She was young. I don't know. She was like in her mid to late 20s. But as I'm like, and then it was a crazy day. So as I'm driving home and like processing everything and like bawling like a baby, I was like just thinking like just how short life is, and like you just never know. And I'm thinking all of these things like what would I have done if like that was me? Like what would I, oh sorry, what would I want my life to look like? Because you just don't know. And I just like, the question came to me and I was just like, does everyone that I love know that I love them and know how much I care about them? And I was like, that's it. Like, that's the only thing that I would care about. Doesn't matter how much money I make, what kind of house, my job, like I could care less. And like, sometimes it takes stuff like that just to like kick your ass back into reality. Like this is so precious what we have. And yeah, it's so just, I love you guys and I want you to know that. I'm so grateful for you and the energy that you bring to my life. And I want this for you all too. And I hope that you feel that you are so appreciated and just bring so much joy. So thank you. And we have work to do to bring more joy to more people. And we get to do it in this super fun way. So yeah, thank you. All right. So sorry, Jess. I was like, I thought I got it all out in the car, but so I wanted to kind of do this panel style. So I'll just call, so I'm just going to go like in that order on my screen. So I see Megan, Jackie, and then Jessica. And then when Carrie gets on, she can pop in. So just gonna like go through a question and have you guys, just share a little bit of, what you've, answer your question. Just to share a little bit about what it's looked like for you as a newer coach. So the first, let me just find the ones that I had. So the first thing that I had was like, what got you into coaching? What made you want to start? And kind of like, what's keeping you going? Like what's keeping you motivated to continue on? So Megan, you're up.
Way to start that off with a tearjerker. Basically, I my backstory. I started working out after I had my son. He was probably about 6 months. COVID hit, I was home for the first time ever with my kiddos, loving it, like out of a super stressful job. I loved my work, but I hated the environment, like so negative all the time, and needed a break. So COVID was kind of a blessing in disguise that way. Started working out, took Shannon's advice, started listening to podcasts, personal development, all that stuff. Finally decided in the summer that I was like, I can't go back to that. Like I was so far into like the negative part. I had to like do something to not go back. So I listened to Everything is Figure Outable. Shannon had just shared it. I was like, give it a listen. So I was like, okay, like I can do this. I don't have to go back. I can make a new plan. Literally 1 to 2 days later, Shannon reached out and was like, hey, how do you feel about coaching? And I'm like, perfect freaking timing. Like literally wrote that to her. I was like, I needed a change. That's exactly what I need. So I started doing that. Basically just wanted other people to not feel like they were stuck. Like I felt like I was just stuck. Knew I hated it, knew I wanted something more, but didn't even know how to take the first steps to go about it. So I started coaching, and basically to help other women, other people, just get out of that negative space where they felt so stuck. I wanted them to see that there was more than where they were at.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jackie.
My dogs just got done eating and back of me, like just in time. It was like very loud. But hey everyone, I'm Jackie. Ginger Willette is my coach. So Shannon is my grandmother in this operation. I guess my roots or desire to coach goes back a long ways, just in my background as an athlete, team captain, a coach as well, like a coach of athletics and a personal trainer. And I went to school for biomedical engineering to study biomechanics because I've always loved to know how the body works. And so I'm in prosthetics and orthotics. So just by career, I study movement. I help coach people into better mobility. It's something that I love doing. I still like being fit. Actually, at this point, I'm doing a lot less patient care and a lot more leadership stuff in my company. So Beachbody, I mean, I've been doing that for over a decade now. I didn't have a specific coach initially, and then I did have one who was a friend, but her group became pretty inactive, and Ginger reached out to me last fall and said, hey, I'm starting this group. Do you want to be part of it? So I was like, sure, do. Yeah, I really should, get better with my nutrition and start using all of this knowledge that I have. And so I did, and then just gradually becoming more involved in her group. She was like, have you considered, well, first it was, who's your coach? And I was like, oh, she's putting in a lot of effort. Okay, I'll switch to her as my coach. And then a little while later, she's like, your posts are great. Have you considered coaching? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, my last coach approached me, but I just I don't want it to be that sort of thing for me. I just enjoy the workouts in this group and it's all good. So she's pretty persistent. She'd just be like, dude, your comments are great. You're helping people. Really, you should consider coach with me. Do it. So finally I was like, it had been brewing in the back of my mind. I would always wanted to start some sort, my dream scenario would be to own this holistic health club thing and do these nature retreats with women and lead yoga on the beach and meditation, journaling, and cook on fires and do all of the let's run around and in nature and hug the earth and stuff like that. That's my deal. And so kind of a similar wake-up call last year. My family had 2 losses, both way, way, way too young, 16 and 28. And, you know, it makes you realize how much you love your friggin' people and how much you want them to be healthy and live a full, joyous, like health to the max kind of life. So I had actually started a group that, and this was before Ginger even reached out to me, but I had started a group with the women in my family. And but it's along the same lines of what I'm doing now with this. It's just these were all my ladies, and I was like, I just want you all to know how much I love you, and I want us to encourage each other to be healthy, and just, you know, by extension, if all of us women are healthy and doing healthy things in our households, our men are going to be healthy. So it just, like, I knew it would radiate and that wave would just keep going. And so after running that group and having a lot of fun with it and getting good feedback, I was more open to coaching. So I said yes to Ginger, started a group with friends. The response was great and we're going strong, never looked back. So I've been with it just like a few months now, but it's fun.
Yeah, and I wrote, like, you have so much knowledge. Like, I want to, like, just learn from you. I love your posts. Like, her posts in her group are amazing. She's got some people who, I don't remember, maybe a month ago or so, posted some amazing transformations. So you're doing awesome. Thank you. Jessica.
Man, how do I follow that? Superstar.
Very easily. You've got an amazing story. Great girl.
So I started with Beachbody about, I don't know, it's been like 2.5 years now. Basically just started. I remember my first post I sent to Shannon. I'm like, all right, I'll bite. Give me the info. Tell me about it. So, you know, she sent me the info and I signed up. And I remember she's like, one of the first posts is like, tell me your why. And I was like, because I don't want to look like a big white whale in my wedding dress. I think that's exactly what I wrote. And that's what I started because, you know, I wanted to feel good in my wedding dress and at my wedding and in the photos. And I didn't want to look back at that memory and, you know, not feel good about myself. So basically yes, Amelia, thank you. So basically that's why I started. But as I started to participate more in the boot camps, you know, it was really inspiring to watch Shannon lead all these women and the amazing things that they were doing and the transformations and not just physically, but, you know, their bodies and, you know, amazing things that they were doing and like these really hard workouts. And I think I started with Country Heat. So I was like really inspired to like get into more challenging workouts and more physical demanding things. So anyway, it ended up being just a goal of losing like, I don't know, 10, 20 pounds. And I ended up losing, I think I lost like 40 or 50 pounds before my wedding. Actually ended up I sent the message I sent Shannon. I was like, all right, I was like, Beachbody, I've lost like 50 pounds, but I also can't fit into my like $2,200 wedding dress. So, you know, what do I do now? So anyway, after I got married, that whole week, I've been really open about, you know, I have mental health stuff that I deal with. I have severe anxiety, panic disorder, and they had made some medication changes, and I ended up in the ICU for about 9 days. Sorry, this has been a really bad day for me, but ended up having to go into the emergency room for some thoughts about hurting myself. And that was really tough. And I felt like everybody was really judging me. And it was hard to get back on track when I came out of the hospital. And, you know, I wasn't myself for a long time. And I kind of gave up on myself and gave up on the whole Beachbody thing. I don't even think that I turned it on. It was probably a good, 5-6 months, I don't know, that I just kind of let it go. And finally, my husband was like, what are you doing? Like, get up, do something, like, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Like, just he was like, and this is really, my husband was so skeptical. And for him to say, he's like, when you were in your beach body, he's like, you were up, you were moving, you were motivated. You were doing stuff, you were smiling, you had fulfillment, happiness in your life. We make you happy, but you need something for you. You need something to make you happy. And my husband is super stingy. So for him to encourage me to start spending the money again was like, huge. So anyway, that's a side point. But so I decided to get back into it, and it was a while before I became really consistent again and started posting in the group. And Shannon then was like, you're doing it. Why aren't you coaching? Like, you need to do this. And basically got into coaching because I knew that if I was feeling certain ways and had been through what I've been through, then there's other people out there that went through what I went through and need that person that's going to be transparent to say, hey, look, this is what I went through. This is what I overcame. If I can do it, so can you. Let's do it together. You're not alone. And that's, this, I say it all the time, and I tell Shannon all the time, this community literally saved my life. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
I'm gonna cry again. Thank you guys. Just like so many like different reasons, but still like something that this whole thing can help with, and that can improve people's lives and thought processes and just like overall fulfillment and satisfaction. So okay, so Megan, kind of nitty gritty, what kinds of things have you been doing or are you doing like on a daily basis that have helped you build up this consistency and your groups and your team?
I do my workout every day or take my scheduled rest day. Like you said before, just be proof that the products work. Drink your stuff, like show up on social media. That was super hard for me because if you scroll back before I coached, the only pictures you will see are of my kids. That's it. There is nothing about me, nothing about my personal life, literally just my kids and whatever fun things they were doing. So I've been more active. I've reached out more to people, made friends, actually, even if they didn't join, made friends, which is huge because I kind of stuck to my same little circle for so long that I was like, this is scary, but it's not. Once you get going, it's not bad. I do personal development every day, whether I read or tune into a podcast, something just for some mindset work. Check in on my boot campers, stuff like that, I guess, is what I do daily.
How many would you say do you track it all? Are you like tracking people you connect with or any sort of system?
Kind of, sort of, but more in a notebook. So it's kind of just written in here randomly.
Yeah. So reaching out, how many people would you say you talk to? This is hard coming from you because I don't necessarily keep track very well. So you guys are teaching me and helping me too.
I try to do 5 every day. Like the flash sale stuff that we're doing this weekend, I've sent out like 15 to 20 to like today, just because it's a big event, a sale. So I've done more this week than I typically do on a daily.
Perfect. Jackie, you're muted.
That darn mute button. So initially, I just had a lot of ideas buzzing through my head already about things that I wanted to share with people. So when I started my group, it was really just getting to know them and their health journeys and their backgrounds and, you know, what's going on in their lives. And my group would like, I figured I'd get, you know, maybe like 10 or 20 people being like, yeah, sure, I'll hang out, learn some stuff. And it immediately jumped to like over 60. So it was really just kind of getting to know people in that group, which I'm still working on. Like, I'm not good about like reaching out. I've been listening to the coach 411s on Monday, and I know that there's a whole process involved with writing down all your contacts and reaching out to people that you barely know and get to know them better and do all of that. And I'm internalizing it, but I have not got to the point where I'm actively doing that yet. So I'm aspiring on that front. Personal growth though, I mean, I feel like especially lately, there's been so much carryover between what I'm doing with Beachbody and what I'm doing at my real work, like in terms of team leadership. So we have a LinkedIn learning account that we all have. So I'm constantly listening to personal development stuff and courses in that. I'm about to take a Harvard course actually on negotiation for executives. So that's going to be helpful in terms of like presenting options in a better way, like knowing how to come up with solutions that work for everyone, versus really pushing the sales stuff. I'm working with our marketing director to develop this whole new program too. So I'm always thinking, like I had some meets today with some of my clinic leads, and I was like, okay, so that approach of just like emailing doctors and saying like, send your patients to us, it's not working, right? We need to connect first and then send the invite. And I'm like, I've got the whole Beachbody script going in my head, and it's so funny because it's kind of the same thing. Like you need, oh my God, the cat window thing just fell on me. So okay. Well, I took it off the window so that because it's like it hangs there. My cat loves to like just stare at the birds outside, but anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of overlap. So I mean, I love the personal growth thing. I love learning. I love trying new things. And I guess just whatever I learn, I like to share with others. So that's been my thing.
Yeah.
I
No,
have been very disciplined though. I need to get a journal. I need to get my contacts down, but just lately I'm trying to just hang on because work's been busy. So I mean, if I can get my workout in, it's a winning day. And if I can get a post going in my group or something and connect with a few people, it's a win. So
yeah, definitely. And I think you bring up like perfect point and scenario is that we already know a lot of people that might be interested in our help. And so just reaching out and connecting and getting to know them so we know if we can even help them in the first place. And going through that, letting people that know that we have, stuff that could help them and just offering the information. It's never about like, hey, join my group. Hey, do this. And it's about like, hey, I'm doing this thing. Do you want to hear about it? Would it be something that you'd be interested in? Or like sharing why you love it and like what you know or how it's helped you. Like there's so many people that you probably know already that you can share that with. And, Jackie's proof. I'll challenge you though, because it is, okay. First, I will tell you that I am probably the most unorganized person. And I don't think I've stuck to like a tracker, a notebook. I have a million of them with names written everywhere. And I'm doing okay. So you're good. But I would challenge you to start, doesn't even have to be anything, connecting with people on, on posts or commenting on their stuff, and people that maybe you haven't talked to in a while, or new people. I don't know. You're on Instagram, right?
no, I mean, I have an account, but I never post, never go in there. So like that's barren. And then like Megan, my regular Facebook page is kids, dogs, and trips and whatever. Like it's events in my life. I'm not like a daily, like, look what I ate. Hey, I'm working out, like sweaty selfie. Like I don't do any of that on my personal Facebook. So all of my contacts, all of my leads right now are just like those 65 women that were like, I'll share my health journey with you like initially. So I feel like in a way that's a good thing because I know that I have a lot of potential growth out there, but it's going to be step by step when I'm ready, when I can take that bite. Because I don't know, like it to do like a complete 180 of my personal social media, I'm not quite ready for that yet. Still
Yeah.
a little private there, but
Yeah, totally. Understandable. And, and it doesn't even have to be like a complete 180. It could be like one thing here and there, or like some people do start completely new accounts if, you're not comfortable doing that on your own. But yeah, like as you feel more comfortable, you just do it. And depending on what your goals even are, like that, like expansion, it's very similar to what you're doing in your marketing and stuff. It is all that stuff. So that's awesome. And the leadership stuff, super applicable too. So thank you, ma'am. Jess, what are you doing on a daily basis to
At the TV in here. I'm going to
stay
go jam in the
consistent,
bedroom. Loud.
helping people and all that jazz?
No, since he won't let me.
So I always, every day, like check in with my boot camp, check in with my boot campers. Yeah, this week has not been the greatest for me, but I've been going through some health struggles, so wicked tired. But typically what I do is after I put my kids to bed, I go through my stories and look who's looked at my stories and send them messages. Hey, saw you looking at my story, or saw you check out my stories, thanks for watching, or things like that. But one thing that I found that really helps me connect is connecting with other women that are small business owners. So the first couple of people that I actually signed or sold to were women that had small businesses, and appealed to them through, one was Pampered Chef. So, hey, I see you're doing your Pampered Chef thing. Well, I think, that's really awesome. You probably have a lot of knowledge to share about like meal prepping and stuff. I'm really into that. Let's talk about that. You probably have a lot of knowledge to bring to what I do, and sparked that way. And then just being supportive of other women in their businesses. I have, connected with, self-care. Like I have a unique rep in my group, and makeup and self-care and paparazzi jewelry, connected with her. I was actually, she's a new mom. So I was like, it must be so hard being a new mom and running a side gig, like, tell me how you manage that. And then we got into talking, and ended up connecting with her that way, and she joined my group. So just like, I wouldn't just kind of like cold messaging people. I don't know. I haven't really started to do that too much yet, but it's
Don't
not
start.
easy. Yeah. Huh?
I said, don't start.
Yeah. I just kind of like scroll around and try and find, people that I think I would connect with. And, sometimes they'll respond back to me and sometimes they don't. And one thing that I will agree with Megan is the friends that I've made. There's a nurse that I've connected with in my group, and I can't wait to meet her. Like I tell her all the time, like, I can't wait to meet you. So like, I don't know. It's really cool. So
Yeah, it's I was gonna say, Jackie, too, Instagram is like it takes a little while. So here's the thing. The connection, it takes longer. Absolutely does. But I'm gonna assume for everyone else, it feels a whole lot better. And you don't have to be spammy. You don't have to send cold messages and just reach out of nowhere. You can legit connect with people. I've connected with people and been like, no, like they're not my people. They'll probably never get an invite like from me. But when you are truly connecting, finding your people, then it just feels right and it flows. And so doing what you're doing is making friends and just expanding your circle. So, all right, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I did want to just go through one last thing is kind of, if you have any sort of like Well, one I was going to ask if there's anything that you were nervous to do, but you guys kind of all covered that. But if you had any sort of vision as far as what you want to like, not necessarily what you want to make this like coaching business, but how could you use it, or what would your, okay, let me start over. How can you use it, or what is your vision like to, I cannot speak right now. Vision. Jackie, you kind of said yours already with hugging the earth and everything, which I'm totally down. Send me an invite to that. Megan, what do you see? What do you see yourself doing in the future? Like a year down the road, 2 years? Like, what could this all bring to your life?
I'm really just looking forward to like the financial freedom. If I keep working and keep growing and making more, we're trying to put in a new house next year. So that is going to take all kinds of money and all kinds of patience. So that is what I'm looking forward to. And after seeing all your videos and photos from your diamond retreat, I am freaking going next year. So that is my vision.
Oh my word. It's so fun. I cannot wait to like plan our own. It's just live events are amazing, and there's nothing like them. So yeah, you'll totally be there. Jackie, did you want to add anything?
I mean, the retreat thing's pretty spot on. One thing that I started with my Facebook group when like at the beginning was monthly bucket list things, because I was like 2020 sucked. So like I got a lot of catching up to do. And I just made this list of all these like active fitness related things that I wanted to do. So like one was like surfing. So I went out to California on a trip to visit my brother in April and went surfing. Like, why have I been waiting all these years? Like, just do it. So, and like I bought a bike for the first time as an adult. And so I'm doing all these, like once a month, I have this bucket list item. And one of them is there's a lot of women in the group who said their favorite activity was hiking. So I want to lead a hike later this summer, and I want to take some people backpacking, because there's a lot of people who've never gone for an overnight hike and like packed their stuff and cooked on a campfire out in the woods. And so I'm hopefully gonna like take little bites into that bigger dream of like lengthier retreats, but that is the
awesome.
vision.
Love it. Jess, how about you?
I've always had this dream. I got my Reiki practitioner, so you know I really like to incorporate like that holistic part of things into everything we do here. And I don't know, maybe someday just having like a center, like a wellness center, there people can go and focus more on holistic treatments towards different things. I'm an oncology nurse, and you know, cancer sucks. And just, you know, we don't offer anything like that around here, you know, like somebody very close to me is a stage 4 cancer survivor, you know, and basically he credits that to exercise. And when he was given 6 months to live in 2015, and he's still alive today, he credits health and wellness and exercise and physical activity and holistic approach, instead of, you know, all the toxic stuff that we pump into people, which I'm not dogging chemo. You know, chemo immunotherapy, things like that are a godsend to people, but there's so much more to medicine out there that can be shared. And I'd like to dive more into that. So yeah, that's my vision.
I love it. You know, one thing, a huge thing that this opportunity has brought me is just the possibility, like, oh, I can even like dream that. It gave me like permission, and it taught me that there is so much more. For so long, I was just talking about it today, for so long, and right around the time that I started coaching, I was like, I like just had Logan, my second, and thinking about having to go to work and thinking, holy shit, like I have to like go back to work and then do that for 30, 40 more years. Like how can I even do that? And, you know, I'll still work in healthcare. I do love nursing and I'm an adrenaline junkie. So like, give me all the traumas and stuff, but, to have something else that doesn't have me feeling like dreading the next 40 years of my life. Like this gets me jazzed up. And the fact that I can make a difference in people's lives before they end up in my ER, like I have to hold myself back from like getting on a soapbox of people and being like, you know, portion control, exercise. But I think it is really powerful. And I think it's so like taboo and people are just offended by everything now. And if we bring it up, it's like, you're going to offend someone, but it's like science, hard facts. Like these are the things that work. And we just have such an opportunity to help so many people, you know, when they're ready, when we've connected, when we know it's a good fit. But the opportunity is there. It just takes consistency with those small little actions, getting to know your people, connecting with them, sharing your story, being transparent with them. Jess is amazing at sharing her stuff in her group and just like sharing what she's going through. I know I thought for a long time, I was like, I have to be perfect. I would go to Holton Farms to get ice cream and I would like pray that there would be no one there that I knew. Cause I was like, they can't see me. They can't see me eating ice cream. They're going to think I'm a fraud. I was like, God, why did I waste that time and energy?
I do that every day in the cafeteria when I like just want that freaking cookie. And I'm like, everybody's watching me buy this freaking cookie. I'm like, but
It
now
is accountability though. I mean,
it is.
Yeah.
But it's a good vouch for our system that, you know, I've lost 80 pounds and I can still eat the damn cookie because this shit works. Like if you follow this program, it works.
Yeah.
So,
and it's creating habits around eating, not going on a diet. Like it's creating those habits, eating for your goals. Some days my goals are not physical and I will eat the cookie. And other days, like I am caring and my priority is more like my energy or that I want to like feel great in a bathing suit or, you know, whatever. But yeah, just the opportunity is amazing. Thank you guys so much for sharing. You rock it. And I'm so proud to have all of you in this little circle. And I hope someday soon, maybe, I don't know, probably not that soon, but we're going to have a bomb ass retreat with all the champagne and turns out I like tequila. So lots of fun stuff, hikes and backpacking and all the journaling and meditating and earth hugging that we can do. So, all right. I'll talk to you guys later. Love you.